True Story Media.
I'm really excited today to bring you one of my favorite podcasts. And we all know how I feel about men, so this one might surprise you. I found these guys through Instagram. Some reel came across my feed, and I was hooked. Louie and Michael are very funny men that have taken therapy to a whole new level. They sit and they talk about their feelings, and they do it in such an honest and self-reflective way that it restores my faith in men a little. So take a listen, and I hope you enjoy this. Go check the rest of their episodes out and follow them on Instagram. I know you're going to love this episode of Secondhand Therapy.
Switch to Verizon Business and get more from your internet without paying more for your internet. Get LTE Business Internet starting at $39 a month when paired with select business mobile plans. That's unlimited data, and with it, unlimited possibilities. Start saving today with Verizon Business, ranked #1 in small business internet customer satisfaction by J.D. Power. Starting price for 25 megabits per second LTE internet plan with smartphone plan savings, plus taxes, fees, and economic adjustment charge. Terms apply. For J.D. Power 2024 award information, visit jdpower.com/awards.
Spring is here, and you can now get almost anything you need for your sunny days delivered with Uber Eats. What do we mean by almost? Well, you can't get a well-groomed lawn delivered, but you can get a chicken parmesan delivered. A cabana? That's a no. But a banana? That's a yes. A nice tan? Sorry, nope. But a box fan? Happily, yes. A day of sunshine? No. A box of fine wines? Yes. Uber Eats can definitely get you that. Get almost anything delivered with Uber Eats. Order now. Alcohol in select markets. Product availability may vary by region. See app for details.
This episode is brought to you by Shopify. Forget the frustration of picking commerce platforms when you switch your business to Shopify, the global commerce platform that supercharges your selling wherever you sell. With Shopify, you'll harness the same intuitive features, trusted apps, and powerful analytics used by the world's leading brands. Sign up today for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/tech, all lowercase. That's shopify.com/tech.
Hello, my little bear cubs, and welcome back to another episode of Secondhand Therapy. We need to remind you that we are not therapists.
That's right, we are not.
We are not experts.
Nope.
This is not a substitute for therapy, nor is this professional advice of any kind.
Absolutely not.
I'm also going to say one more thing.
Okay.
This episode's coming out on November 4th.
Mm-hmm.
There's a bit of an election happening.
There's an election.
There's an election, so, make sure you go vote, and make sure you vote the right way, because, women aren't safe in the world. They're trying to take all the women's rights, and, trans people. We're all people.
We're all people.
Let's keep everybody safe. Women have rights, too. Let's keep it that way.
Oh, my God.
Here's an episode of a podcast.
Scared.
If you want to support the pod, we would very much appreciate it. You can do so on Patreon. We have merch available at secondhandtherapypod.com. If you want to contact us, you can do so. secondhandtherapypod@gmail.com, or shoot us a text, give us a call, 818-850-2448.
It might just end up in a show.
It might be on the show. You can also write us a letter.
Oh, God, I love getting mail.
P.O. Box 230595, Las Vegas, Nevada 89105. If you missed any of that, go to our socials. It's in our link tree. Follow us on Instagram. Add us on Spotify. Get us on YouTube. Support the pod any way you can. We appreciate you so much. Thank you for being here. Love you.
Love you. Bye.
Hello, my little bear cubs, and welcome back.
Secondhand Therapy.
You seem very uncomfortable.
Yeah, I've got daddy issues.
Yeah. I knew that.
Yeah, that
100,000 people knew that.
I'm just becoming aware of.
You're just starting to look at them.
Yeah.
You want to tell us about it, or you want me to go first?
You go.
Okay. I'm not going to share a ton.
Oh, good. Excellent. Great.
Not because of that, because I talked a lot about my relationship this week. So a lot of that isn't for the podcast. It's also, we walk a weird line of therapy being for us and also therapy being for work. Mm-hmm. And it's hard. I've honestly thought about getting a second therapist, like just a CBT, just like a talk therapist for podcast shit. So like
really?
I can do my personal stuff that I'm actually like working on in therapy. And then I can have a second one where like the overflow of stuff I don't mind sharing, I can actually unpack over there.
That's interesting. Yeah, I have found myself sometimes in therapy already thinking about how I'm going to share that, like while I'm doing therapy.
I have that too. And then I'm like, that's not what therapy's for.
Yeah.
It's like I'm so preoccupied with like making sure I have something for the pod that it's affecting therapy being for me.
Yeah. Hey.
But also
relatable.
That's what we signed up for.
Yeah. Gift from the curse, my boy.
Vulnerable, stupid fucking idea that we had.
Oh, I hate it.
So here's what I'll tell you. Relationships are hard.
Your turn.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, but really, my girl's going through some work stuff, and she's been coming home not in a good mood.
Yeah.
And points it at me.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And I have been very intentionally trying to be like, this isn't about me. This is a work thing. But daddy can only do that for so long, you know?
Yeah.
Before I go, hey, your fucking problem ain't with me, okay? Be nice to me. Yeah. I'm the one here supporting you. Please treat me with some sort of love. And I said that to her. I said that to her. So I went into therapy, and I was like, my girl been kind of going through it for a couple weeks. She's been going through it and taking it out on me, and now I'm done taking it. Yeah, and it's been this weird, not weird. It's just been difficult to navigate, because I feel like I'm figuring out so many things with it. Here's what's happening in my head when these things happen.
Yeah.
My intention is to be supportive and give her the support that she needs. A lot of the time, she doesn't know what kind of support she needs. So I can't. And then emotionally, she's not in a good space, which is not her fault. Like, her work situation is pretty shitty, and she's trying to get out of it and all that. But then I'm like, I'm aware that we're in a relationship together, and I understand you had a hard day, but you need to be able to set that aside when you get home. Or if you can't, ask for a few minutes or anything like that. Because I know the way I'm being treated, people at work aren't being treated that way. I know when your friend calls you, you're not talking to her that way.
Yeah.
It's all coming to me. And I get it that I'm your closest personal relationship, so you feel the safest with me. You got to set it aside for me too. You got to try.
Yeah.
Like, everybody else gets a nice version of you, and I'm catching strays at home. Like, I have needs as well, and I deserve the effort you're putting in with other people. I deserve that effort as well. And I understand you can't give it 100% of the time.
Yeah.
That's an unrealistic standard. Yeah, so I find myself in a place of trying to be supportive, but also making sure that I'm communicating my needs.
Yeah.
And not setting aside my needs and my value in the way I think I should be treated consistently for the sake of her emotions.
How hard is that for you? For somebody like me, that'd be damn near impossible.
Yeah. I don't think I understand where you're at. You're asking me how hard is it to balance?
To set those boundaries and to ask for those things that you think that you...
Oh, that's not hard at all. It's easier for me not to.
Oh, really?
It's easier for me to speak up and be like, hey, It's much harder for me to get in a place of like, this isn't about me. Let her get it out.
Okay.
Ask her how she can have support. Because as soon as you come at me wrong, I'm like, oh, well, I didn't do anything. So...
Yeah.
So yeah, for me, it's gearing back the boundaries because I've worked so hard on setting boundaries and being treated the way I feel I deserve to be treated and treating people the way I feel they deserve to be treated. That I don't want to say I forget because I don't, because it is in my mind. But then my instinct has become like, oh, no, we're not doing that.
Yeah.
But you got to be softer with your partner.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I would find that so hard to, and I have in the past, speak up for those needs or boundaries or to speak up for those needs and set those boundaries.
So what happens with you in situations like that if your partner is just not being nice to you for a while? Because you do have those feelings of like, why am I getting this shit?
Yeah.
Where do those feelings go?
Oh, on the inside. Oh, you tuck them way down. You tuck them way down.
It's not like punching a pillow. It's not screaming and do you notice it coming out at other people?
Not other people, but definitely, yeah, screaming in traffic more, being just more agitated in general. Because I don't, from where my stance would be is I don't want to add to more shit for them. Yeah. They're already going through so much. I know that they're having a hard time. So who the fuck am I going to be to add on to that? I would never. So
yeah,
guess what? You get to be mean to me for a while.
And that makes perfect sense to me.
Yeah,
I get it. But
yep.
But I'm like, we signed up to be in a relationship, and if this was the other way around, you're just gonna sit there. No, you'd be like, hey, you're my partner. You need to treat me with love and respect. You had a hard day. I get it.
Yeah.
Like, that is the difficulty of relationships.
How is she at receiving those boundaries and things? Because again, like...
Sometimes great, sometimes very, very defensive.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I would...
Yeah.
Her and I are similar in a lot of ways. And
yeah. You guys have... You guys are both people pleasers.
Mm-hmm.
You two have very different attachment styles. So I think in a romantic relationship, you guys, when it comes to partnerships, are very different.
Oh, probably, yeah.
Yeah. But when it comes to receiving feedback, both very... Number one instinct is defensive, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But her, typically, she'll get defensive, and at the beginning, that would be incendiary. Now, I can just be like, it seems like you're getting defensive. Are you feeling attacked? And she can usually be like, yeah, I'm being fucking defensive. And then I'll just be like, do we need, and she's like, we need to table this for a little bit.
Yeah.
We table it, then we come back, she can.
I gotta be honest, I love her too.
She's great.
Yeah.
She's great.
She's great.
Yeah. But yeah, then she can come back around now and be like, yeah, I'm getting defensive, and it's her attachment and her traumas and all that, and then we can kind of wade through it. But we had a rough couple weeks of just not being able to get on that same page of communication, and recently she's kind of been like, it's like, yeah, you're right. I'm not treating you the way I should be, and she acknowledged she needed to step it up and be a better partner with regardless of when things are happening outside. Like, she might not be a 10 out of 10, but you have to put in the effort to be the best.
Yeah.
When she was not being able to do that, or not seeing that she wasn't doing that, I guess.
What are your feelings when that stuff is happening? Are you, because you do have these, I don't want to say strict boundaries, but these more secured boundaries or more knowledgeable boundaries that you know how you want to be treated in these settings that you know, all these things. Is there a time period there where you go, okay, I'm gonna like when do you start to say something? 'Cause it's not day one. It's not just like, oh, she had a bad day, and you're like, hey, you don't fucking treat me that way. No. I imagine it builds, and there's room for grace and all that stuff.
Yeah,
so.
when it seems to be like a pattern. Because a day or 2 or 3 can happen, but when it is now more days than not when you're coming home, this is what's happening.
Yeah.
Like, let's rein it in. Like, I get it's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard, but you got to learn to let some shit, set it aside. You have to be able to set it aside.
Yeah.
For the better of the bigger picture of your life. And sometimes I probably say it sooner because I have emotions as well. And
You
I do, believe it or not, autism and all.
Wow.
Test next week.
Can't wait. You know what? That's the real election. Yeah. And you know who I'm voting for.
We're getting 270.
Autism.
270. Yeah, but sometimes, I mean, I'll be shorter tempered, or I'll feel attacked, or I had some shit go on that day, and I'm not able to be that's why I say relationships are hard.
Yeah.
It's like two people trying to understand just constant give and take, constant sacrifice, constant compromise.
Yeah.
And just constantly be willing to admit that you're wrong or hear that you're wrong. It fucking sucks sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In this new era that you're in, because you've had some time off with dating.
Yeah, I took 5 years off.
Yeah. In Lou 2.0, and you have these standards that need to be met, or these boundaries, these settings, whatever you want to call them. And this has nothing to do with her. Let's remove her from the situation. Let's just say in a relationship in general. Does Lou 2.0 have a point of no return, or a point of like, that's it, I can't do X, Y, and Z, or I've brought this up so many times, whether it's this or something else or whatever. Like, what does that look like since you've had the time off and you know what you're looking for? You've kind of honed into like, these are my needs. This is what whatever. These are my non-negotiables, all that kind of stuff that goes into dating in this new way. Yeah, what does that look like for?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't have an answer. Because really I could only answer that with my partner now, because I don't think that is the same for every relationship. Because my partner now has done it, and she has been working on herself since before we were dating.
Yeah.
And I do see her making the changes she wants to make and evolving and recognizing, like, she is doing those things. So I think for a situation like that, for lack of a better term, the leash is going to be longer.
Yeah.
But I'm sure there would be a point of like, oh, we've been talking about this for a year.
Yeah.
And we're really not making progress. And I feel like this hasn't been a priority. You're saying it's priority, but doesn't seem like a priority. I don't feel the effort from you. I don't know, something like that. Maybe I really don't know how to. I don't think I have an answer.
Yeah.
It's hard. I'll tell you one thing that was a light bulb for me in therapy this week.
Yeah.
So we were talking about, like, she comes home in a bad mood, and Like, what's the ideal?
I love an idea.
Oh, I know you do.
Let's do it.
Yeah. So let's say she's in a bad mood. I'm catching it, right? And if I say to her, "Hey, you're being a little mean to me. I get you had a bad day. If you need a few minutes, I understand, but I need you to set this aside so we can start our evening," or something like that. Something like that, right? I say that. She comes back with, "You're right. Give me 5 minutes. Let me decompress. Set this aside." The 5 minutes is up. We're chilling. She's loving on me. I'm loving on her. We're laughing. All that. If that happens, I don't know that I could accept it.
Oh.
Part of me is afraid that I would push her away and be like, "Why do I have to ask for this?" Because I just can't accept that, like her being like, "You're right," and then nurturing and loving me. That I just don't know how to quite accept that yet. I'm scared.
I thought it was something else. I thought that you would be scared that she's pretending to be okay and that you couldn't accept it because it's only been 5 minutes and now she's magically fine. And you'd be like, "You're fucking, this is a performance."
No.
Oh.
No, I'm scared. I don't know how to be like, "Oh, she really like did what I asked. Like she met my needs." That I don't know how to like authentically and intrinsically accept that. So I would instinctively push her away of like, "Why do I have to ask for this? Why do I always?" Because sometimes you have to ask for your needs to get met. So yeah, I was like, that seems like a real possibility that I might just get what I want and then push her away because I'm so fucking damaged. I don't know, but it seems like a real possibility. Yeah.
Well, how do you react now when in these situations when you ask her to put it aside and she does?
Oh, well, there's like a whole conversation which she gets defensive as shit. And then we have to talk about it and we have to deal with that.
Yeah.
And then we have a little come down and we get there eventually.
I think you like that a little bit.
Yeah, I'm scared of that too. I'm scared you might be right.
Look make chaos.
I don't. In the moment, I hate it. But yeah, let's say, that doesn't seem impossible to me. Why?
Yeah.
Why can't I just enjoy the woman I'm spending my life with, or I'm sharing my life with?
Yeah.
I just can't accept the love, and that's frustrating me.
This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. Hey, it's Britt. I wanted to take a minute to talk to you about the importance of therapy. It can feel like a big investment, but the state of your mind is just as important as your physical health. Traditional in-person therapy can cost anywhere from $100 to $250 per session. That adds up fast. But with BetterHelp online therapy, you can save, on average, up to 50% per session. Therapy should feel accessible, not like a luxury. With online therapy, you can get quality care at a price that makes sense and can help you with anything from anxiety to everyday stress. Your well-being is worth it. Visit betterhelp.com/probablythink today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/probablythink. Hey, it's Britt. I wanted to take a minute to talk about Quince. We all know how much I love my black silk washable skirt. They have lightweight European linen styles from $30, washable silk tops, and comfy lounge sets. All Quince items are priced 50 to 80% less than similar brands. By partnering directly with top factories, Quince cuts out the cost of the middleman and passes the savings on to us. One of my favorite things is that they only work with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices. For your next trip, treat yourself to the luxe upgrades you deserve from Quince. Go to quince.com/Brit for 365-day returns plus free shipping on your next order. That's QUINCE.com/Brit quince.com/BRIT to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/Brit. Did you know that April is Financial Literacy Month? They made a whole month reminding you to finally take control of your money. The good news is that you don't need 30 days. Acorns makes it easy to start saving and investing for your future in just 5 minutes. Acorns will recommend a diversified portfolio that matches you and your money goals. Get started with the spare money you have right now. I've had all my kids sign up so that they can take any of their extra money and save it, but also give them a way to learn about investing. Sign up now and join the over 14 million all-time customers who have already saved and invested over $25 billion with Acorns. Head to acorns.com/youprobably or download the Acorns app to get started. Paid, non-client endorsement, compensation provides incentive to positively promote Acorns. Tier 2 compensation provided. Investing involves risk. Acorn Advisors, LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. View important disclosures at acorns.com/youprobably.
Yeah.
Granted, none of this happened. I'm just saying I'm scared it could end. Seems realistic.
Scared the ideal.
Yeah.
I also don't want the ideal.
Yeah. I don't fucking know, man.
Yeah.
All right. What'd you talk about? I don't want to talk. I'm done with this shit.
Oh.
I said too much already.
It's all getting cut.
God.
Yeah, it's just going to be jump cuts. Being like, I was in therapy this week. We talked about my girlfriend. Anyways, what'd you do?
I love her too. Me too. She's great.
She's great. Oh, man. I don't know. I don't want to share, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, it was a big day.
Yeah.
Big feelings today.
Yeah.
I haven't had therapy in 2 weeks, which feels like a lifetime.
2 weeks is a long break.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't like that.
Yeah.
So I had a lot of emotions to catch up on. And you and I have had some just big talks, not on the podcast, just in life here at the house.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it's been...
Side note, I'm sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
When we get in those conversations, does it ever enter your mind all the people in emails and comments like, I just want to hang out with you guys? No, you don't. You don't know half the shit. We are constantly looking inward and examining each other. And it is exhausting. You do not want to hang out with us.
No
I promise you don't want to hang out with us.
It's too much therapy.
It is unreal. We got a live show if you're in Los Angeles. If you want to hang out with us.
If you really do want to experience it.
On December 19th, come on out to the Lyric Hyperion. We got a live show.
Yeah, I tell you what, if you really want the true experience, come to the house about an hour before the show.
Yeah.
That'll be the real.
Yeah.
That's the real show. We should record that.
Yeah.
Just set up a camera of you and I fucking...
Just us loading up these chairs.
Just anger panic.
Yeah. Fuck. All right, I gave you a nice out, but it's over. What'd you talk about?
God damn it. Well, we're out of time. So maybe next week we'll talk about it. Oh, God. Okay. So you and I had a conversation yesterday. And because we were like...
I honestly don't remember what it was about.
Okay, good. We don't have to talk about it. So anyway, how's pickleball?
Refresh me. I played out of my mind today. Oh, buddy, I was dominating out there today. It was a good one.
So we were kind of like talking about some of the comments and this and that on the latest videos about from the other show, the other shit show.
Fucking idiots in the comments.
Those clips have been real conversation starters in the comments about judgment and toast and things like this.
Why would you ask him about toast? I didn't.
It's a hypothetical.
It's a literal hypothetical. What if I criticized toast? Why would you mention toast? I didn't, bitch.
You're so mean to him. Why? Let him make his toast.
Pay attention.
It's not about the toast.
Oh my god.
So we were talking about that, and there was something that I mentioned to you that I said that I wish. Oftentimes this happens. I wish that I would have said this, or I would have responded this way, or whatever. And one of those things in that episode was you kept asking me why I care. Why do you care? Why does that bother you? Why do you care? And I was really trying to think about that, and it doesn't weigh as much with strangers or whatever, but with somebody like you, it matters to me, your perception of me, because I care about you, because I love you. And
I love you too.
Thank you. And so I want you to feel that way about me, or see me in the ways that I think that I am. And if you are thinking poorly of me or negatively or any of those things, it turns out what we discovered in our conversation was that it has less to do with people pleasing and all that, and more to do with abandonment issues. And what we came around to was that if I'm not good enough, you will leave. And hey, I don't want that. And I shared with you that, like, and my therapist this morning, because this is how our therapy started, was talking about that conversation. People, when they hang out with me short term or at an arm's distance or whatever, man, I'm great. Man, I'm just the best. That Michael Malone, he's fucking great. It's the people that spend a lot of time with me or really get to know me on a personal level. And you and I spend all of our time together. We live together. We do this together. We unpack a lot together. You see every side of me.
Yeah, I hate you.
Yeah. And
shut up.
And if I am too much, then you go bye-bye. And I think you can relate to this because you shared that in an episode months ago about your old therapist, about sharing too much or being too much, and that she wouldn't want to see you anymore because it was this or that.
Afraid to be judged.
Yeah, and that's kind of how I feel, is if if I'm really me in all of my fucking messiness, then you're not gonna want anything to do with me. Not only you, but like anyone. And hey, man, I can't have that.
Why not?
Because I don't want to be alone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So who gets to decide what's too much? Me or you, what you perceive as too much?
You.
Right.
Yeah.
You think I'm going to decide that and not tell you or something? Or you just don't want me to decide that? What's the fear?
You're going to decide that and leave.
And not say anything? Just be like, oh, this fucking guy.
No, I think it doesn't matter if you say it, if we have a discussion or not. The ending result is being left.
Do you think that's why you keep people around longer than they should? It's just in case, so you'll never be alone?
I don't know. I don't know what that's about. Honestly.
Yeah, you struggle to say goodbye to people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I work really hard at being accepted. And then it's kind of like that thing you get into in relationships, right? When it's not, neither one of you are having a good time anymore, but you're like, we put all this effort and time into this.
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah, but everybody on the outside's like, you got to get the fuck out of there.
Yeah.
To both of you. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? But you're like, yeah, but we've been together. And it's like, hey,
Yeah.
that doesn't count.
Yeah.
That doesn't
That
mean
is weird when
anything.
people are like, you've already lost that time.
Yeah.
You want to lose more?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a weird thing. That makes sense.
But when you're in it, you're in it. That's the fucking weird thing about relationships is everybody else can see it, and then months later you're like, oh yeah, what the fuck was I doing? Like, yeah, we tried to tell you.
Yeah.
Many of us had sit downs with you.
Yeah.
So that's how therapy started today, was talking about abandonment, and that was something that I didn't know was at the root of a lot of my people pleasing or acceptance or whatever. So he asked me, he said, can you think about a time in your life when you were neglected or abused? And I don't feel like I fit into those categories at any stage in my life. Because I feel like those are, maybe I'm not thinking of it as emotional or whatever. Because I think of those things as like pretty hardcore situations, like neglect and abuse. Like I never felt any of that. So I shared with him that I was like, yeah, I told him just that. And then I said, but growing up, I dealt with acceptance a lot because I was a bigger kid and, the girls didn't want anything to do with me. I wasn't attractive enough for them. I was a great friend. I was a good friend, but I was not attractive enough to date, to actually be their boyfriend. And the guys didn't want anything to do with me because I could give a fuck about sports. I could really give a fuck about playing sports or watching it or whatever, so they had no use for me. And so acceptance was really hard. And I had a lot of people take advantage of me when I was young because I was a spoiled only child. So I had the latest and greatest. And so kids would come to my house and they'd fucking wreck it. Or they'd come over to the house and they'd borrow things. Or they'd break things. And that was just that. And I never spoke up. And I never got mad at them or held them accountable or any of those things.
Why not? I know we talked about this before, but I don't remember.
Yeah, because then they go bye-bye.
Oh, okay.
Then they don't like me.
Yeah.
This is what they're here for. This is, you know what I mean? Like this, hey man.
And you were okay with that?
I felt like I had to be. Because what else do I have to offer? I have nothing to offer.
Just a big tummy and a sense of humor.
Exactly. Yeah. And so we talked a lot about that validation and acceptance that goes with that. And then also this idea of, again, like feeling like people are trying to embarrass me. And then we got around, it was almost like a throwaway. I was like, yeah. And then, as far as like home life goes, I was like, yeah, my dad really wasn't around a whole lot. And man, he went to that like fucking blood in the water, dude. And he was like, your father? I was like, yeah. Because I keep forgetting that he's new. So he doesn't really understand all the dynamics and, the background and all that stuff. So I was like, oh, yeah, my dad really wasn't around, this and that. And he was like, let's talk about that. I was like, okay. Fucking stupid. Yeah. Fucking, okay, yeah. I never
Didn't even deflect it or anything.
No, just blindly just, okay.
You know, my mom's dead.
Let's talk about mom. You know, mom? Have I told you about mom yet? So we started talking about dad. And I know I've shared some of this before, but this all leads to this new revelation. And so he, was asking a few questions about dad and this and that. And then he goes, okay, let's role play a little bit. And I've never done that in therapy.
It's the fucking worst. I had to talk to a pillow.
Yeah. Luckily.
Let's pretend she's sitting here. I'm just like, God damn it.
I was so afraid he was going to be like, let's pretend that I'm your father. And this, and I was like, no. The internet's, it's gone.
Yeah.
I don't know. The computer's broke. I punch it. So you come home, the house is burned down. What happened? Well, he tried to be my dad. And,
I get it.
So I said, okay, yeah, let's role play.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, I'm going to share some things about my father, and then as an example, and then I want you to share in the same way. And I said, oh, okay. I was like, thank God.
Mm-hmm.
So he said,
also not role playing. Go ahead.
Yeah, it was weird. And so he said, my father, I was raised by a man who, X, Y, and Z. And then it was my turn. And I shared, I said that I was raised by a man who I truly believe wanted to be better. He just wanted to do better and be better and couldn't figure out how. I was raised by a man who really loved children and was there for them when they were little and kids. But I don't think he knew what to do with them when they got older.
That seems, and I'm sorry to interrupt you, that seems to be a thing about men. Men love babies, but don't love children.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know if he knew how to interact or... And I also don't know because he had such, from what I hear, a good relationship with his other children.
It's because he loved them more. I'm kidding.
No, I got a very different version of my father.
Yeah.
Which is where this next part comes in. Well, one before that. I was raised by a man who I don't think knew what partnership and love really was. I was raised by a man who got caught up in addiction and could not find his way out. And it's taken me years to have empathy for that and realize that that was not his fault, the way he got into that.
Empathy or sympathy?
Empathy. I'm noticing my hands right now because he fucking, even in therapy, dude, I was crushing my hands, and he goes, let's sit with this for a minute. He goes, where do you feel this in your body? And I was like, my fucking hands. And I was just like grinding them.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay. He's like, let's just sit with this. And we did that. That was no fun.
Yeah.
And then he goes, okay, we're going to do this again, only we're going to change it a little bit. We're going to change the wording to because I was raised by a man who X, Y, and Z. And he shared. And then it was my turn. And, oh, buddy, it was because I was raised by a man who always wanted to be better and do better. I don't know when things are good enough. I don't know when the good times are because it's not good enough. It's never good enough. I can never be satisfied and just take it in because there's so much more work to do because wherever we are is not where we're supposed to be. There's more work to be done. It's just not enough. I was raised by a man because I was raised by a man who didn't really know what true love and partnership look like. I was exposed to that at an early age, and I like the chase. I like the idealism. I like playing house. Mm-hmm. I don't like actually. I don't know how to show up in long-term love. Yeah. Because I was raised by a man who had addiction problems and couldn't find his way out. I'm terrified to try new things, to enjoy myself, to do even the smallest, things of like, let's have a shot. Let's do a little. Everybody's doing mushrooms now. Everybody's microdosing. Buddy,
Can't do it.
I don't know what that looks like for me. When I started, now, granted, there was some shit going on in my life, but when I started smoking weed, it was in my early 30s. And it became my identity.
I remember that.
Swallowed me.
Yeah.
Scary.
But you still smoke weed.
Here and there.
Yeah, but you're not afraid of it anymore, are you?
No, but what happens if I try something else and I like it? That's harder than weed. Weed's some fucking training wheels, you know what I mean?
Well, let's be honest. Whatever you try, you're gonna like it. That's what drugs are. They're great.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just don't do it all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I have that idea of like, yeah, just don't do it all the time. Yeah, I don't know if I have that switch, man. That's the fear.
Yeah, you don't have that.
Yeah.
No, your problem's food.
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah, because you can have whiskey and not get hooked. You can have weed and not get hooked. Like,
yeah.
I think that's your mom talking.
Yeah.
But I'm open to being wrong. Sorry to interrupt you. Please continue.
No, yeah, there's all these revelations happening. And then it came down to this idea of, and I never made this connection with abandonment issues. Because I was raised by a man who was absent for most of my life, who chose his friends, his other children, everything else but me, it felt like. If my own father didn't want anything to do with me. Why would anybody else?
I don't understand why your mom doesn't fall into that. Your mom wanted everything to do with you.
Yeah, because that's too easy. That was just, she smothered me with it. So it was just, it was way too, I didn't have to earn that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And you're not supposed to have to earn your parents' love. Oops.
Yeah.
Oh.
You have to earn love.
No, you don't.
How do you get it?
It's given to you.
By people that think you deserve it. Because you've earned it from them.
Where'd you learn that?
It's just how life is. Right?
No.
You don't think love is earned?
No.
How do you get it?
People give it to you.
But how?
They
What do you
want
do?
to.
They just...
You form a connection. They want to. If you have to earn somebody's love, it's not love. That's a debt.
Yeah.
You really do love the chase, huh?
Sure do. At this point, I thought I would fill in my therapist with a little background on who my father was.
Mm-hmm.
And so we did that dance. And at this point, I'm bawling my eyes out.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Just abusing my hands and just crying.
Yeah.
And I've mentioned this before, but I don't know how much we got into it, but it's just this idea of like, I just want to help my dad figure it out. I know that's not my place. I know that I was too young. I know that he's been dead since I was a kid. I know that it's an impossible thing, but I know that he wanted to be better, and I know that he wanted to get out of that town, and he couldn't figure it out, and I did, and I just want to help him. I just want to help him.
Why?
Because he deserves it.
And that's love.